Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of REUZEL Facebook Live. Today is Sunday. We are joined by Mr. Jonah Goodwin, all the way from Australia, which happens to be Monday morning there. Jonah, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
Awesome. There you are.
Awesome.
Awesome. You are live and ready to go, my friend.
Okay. How good. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. My name is Jono. I've been a barber for 8 years, and I'm going to be doing a skin fade flat top, which is one of my favorite haircuts. So here in Australia, we've done pretty well with COVID and all that. So we're making sure to wash everyone's hands before they come into the barber shop. We're also disinfecting all our chairs and tools. So I'm going to start by just getting a comb out. I know this is pretty simple, and all you guys will be following it. But yeah, it's really important to keep your hygiene up, especially in these times. Also, I'm using the Andis Cool Care to disinfect all my tools. All right. So what we're going to start with is what the heck? Oh my goodness. This is not good.
Jonah, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Jonah, hold on one second, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry. We have lost our stream, but we are getting right back up as we speak. Just give us one moment.
All right. Are we back?
All right, Jonah, I got you back, buddy.
Oh my goodness, how good. Sorry about that, guys.
Welcome to live streaming.
All right, man. So I'm just starting off by evenly wetting the hair. I think it's really important to always evenly wet your hair, just to make sure that you can see how the hair is going to sit. Whatever the hair can do with water, it can also do with product. So we're going to start off by doing our baseline. So because I'm going to be going to the scalp, I'm getting that in nice and close. One of the most important things for me when I'm cutting hair is to make sure that I put in the baseline just so I can keep all my haircuts nice and square. And when you're doing a flat top especially, man, you want to make sure that it is square. So I'm going up a little bit higher in the crown area just because we're going to set a nice platform for our flat top. And when you clipper over comb, always set your clipper to 0. And make sure that you have a nice even cut. So I've just made my way around the whole head, keeping that baseline nice. Now I'm going to go in. We're going to go all the way down to the skin today. So I'm going to put in a fade line. I want to make sure that this is nice and high. This is Charlie, my model. He's got perfect hair for a flat top. So I like to go around the whole head with the clipper, like my trimmers, and set my fade line. The reason why I like using a fade line is because it ensures that my fade will be nice and even. We're going to be going all the way down to the skin today as well. So when you use the foils, I think that it's really important to use a trimmer to get it down nice and close, because if you just use your if you're just using your like clippers set on a 0, I don't think it gets close enough, and it makes your foils work a little bit too hard, and then you find yourself replacing your foil too often. And you know, longevity of tools is so important. And yeah, these trimmers now, they just zip through hair.
Jonah, let's see if we can get the camera guy in there a little closer and not so much movement.
You're gonna get a little bit. Yeah, just keep nice and still, bro.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
I think it's really important to always work with a clean canvas. So I make sure every time I remove any bulk, I just get my blow dry, clean it off, and I also use a nice fade brush. So I'm just going all the way around the head, making sure that we've got a clean canvas. And it's also good for your customer because they feel nice and tidy and they're not itchy. Now we've got our foils. Another thing that I always try and do is, and this is really important, I think, when using the foils, stay as still as you can, Taylor. When you're using the foils, make sure that you're disinfecting them and getting rid of any dead skin that's left on them. So here in Tommy Guns, we make sure that we wash our foils and disinfect them before we use them. Hygiene is really important, especially when going down to the skin.
Now, Jonah, in Australia, are you allowed to use a straight razor or no?
Yeah, we are allowed to use a straight razor. I just find like we do a fair amount of skin fade, especially because the climate's quite hot here in Australia. So using the foil saves a little bit of time, and I think it also saves like irritation on the skin. But I always do go around and just touch up the edges with the cutthroat at the end of the haircut. Because sometimes, like even with the foils, you'll find that you can miss little hairs around the ears or at the back of the neck. So I basically do both. Another thing that I find really important with any, like whenever you're cutting, is making sure that you have good posture. Because some people, they cut like this, they're cutting on an angle, and then every haircut they do has a slight angle to it. So making sure that you're always straight on with your client, and just making sure that your posture is good. It also saves your back, your shoulders, your elbows, and everything else. Everybody's different, but when I do a skin fade, I like to make sure that I sort of fade it to the trimmer. I've seen some people when they leave, like they go all the way to the fade line, but I find this way is a lot easier for me to just get rid of that line at the end. So just at that line, I'm just looking into it. Again, this isn't the only way you can skin fade. There's 100 other ways that you can skin fade. This is just the way that I've found works best for me. I think, especially for younger barbers, it's easy to see somebody do a nice haircut and you think, I'm going to copy exactly what they do. And, you know, you sort of lose what you're used to, sort of thing. I think it's important to find new techniques and try them out, but if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. So now I'm going with my 1.5, and I'm just going to work that just below my baseline. Yeah, so just keeping a nice square shape. I've got it set on the close. So around the back of their head, I'm just going a little bit higher with my 1.5, because that's going to create the base for my flat top. So how I like to do it is I like to get the whole of the side done. I like to get all my fade done, and then I'll move on to the top and connect it all later. So now I've got my one guard open all the way. I know some people that work without guards, and that's great, man. If you're comfortable working like that, then you should do that. This is just how I was taught, and this is how I like to do my fades and my haircuts. When I was over in Rotterdam, I saw Lean do a 4-minute flat top, and it was amazing. Yeah, as I'm going, if anyone online or on the live has any questions, then shoot away. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Now I'm going with my half guard, starting open. And when I'm using my half guard, I like to just work in panels. So I'll do the both sides and then the back, and I'll just connect it.
Got a question for you, Jonah.
Yeah, what's up, man?
How long does it usually take you to do a flat top?
I think like it'll take me about half an hour, like 25 minutes, half an hour. But it depends on the hair, you know, like some people's hair is a little bit tougher, so it takes a little bit more time. But I think if you can keep to 25 to 30 minutes, you're laughing. So now I'm just working my way through the barbers have these like little nodules. So I've gone 2 back, and I'm just like polishing out that line. We have quite good lighting here at Tommy Guns, but I like to also check with my mirror and just make sure that it's looking nice and clean in the mirror. Because I find like, you know, you might have different shadows wherever you're cutting, so I always make sure that I check with the mirror. That's why it's there. Yeah, so you got that out. It's nice and clean. We're just going to work our way to this side. So I'll start with my half open. We're just polishing up.
And for those around the world, Tommy Guns is a franchise barbershop throughout Australia, correct, Jonah?
Yeah. So we got, I think we got 15 stores in Australia. I know we got 7 in Queensland. Yeah.
And I know there's several throughout Canada as well.
Yeah. So it's originally from Canada. So basically what I've done is I've started with it open, worked my way down to its shut with the half blade. Now we're going with no guard on. I'm just slightly stretching the skin out a little bit. And I'm just working my way down through those little nodules. Some spots, if you get like a dark spot, I'll just like open my zero up fully and I'll just like pick at it. But be careful when you do that, especially if you're working with darker hair. Again, using my mirror to check that it's nice and clean, symmetrical with the other side. The reason why I like working with these panels, working right side, then left side, and then connecting it through the back is I'll make sure that it's nice and even all the way through. Do we have any, where's everyone tuning in from today? Do we have anyone in Australia?
I don't see anybody from Australia yet, but I see Florida,
Oh, yeah, cool.
several U.S., and of
Yeah,
course
we
the
got
boss
some
lady.
people in the US. Hi, guys. How you going? Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, we have an Australia one now.
Yeah,
Welcome.
who do we have from Australia?
I believe that's Mr. Roach, Mr. Damon Roach.
Hey, Damon Roach. Thanks for tuning in.
He's in Ipswich. I think I said that right.
Ipswich is a beautiful city, beautiful part of Queensland.
And we got David from the UK.
Hi, David from the UK. How you doing?
And from the Windy City, Mr. Christopher's joining us from Chicago.
How you going, Chicago? All right, so we've basically done a nice skin fade. Now what we're going to do is go through with a little bit of Grooming Tonic. We're going to do a nice blow dry, get it into shape, and then we'll work the top. So I'm using the Grooming Tonic. Just place about, in Australia, it'd be a 50-cent piece. I don't know what it'd be like, what sort of coinage that'd be in the States or the UK.
For us, probably a little bit bigger than a quarter.
So I'm just putting that through the hair. As you can tell, Charlie, he's had a flat top before. I think he's the only young man walking around Brisbane with a flat top. But it suits him, man. Again, I'm just making sure that I'm cleaning around my client. And I've got my blow dryer set to medium heat and full strength.
Sorry about the blow dry noise, guys. It always gets in the way.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Every haircut that we do here at Tommy Guns, we always make sure to blow dry. You know, that's a true haircut. If you're a barber, you've got to make sure you blow dry every haircut. Make sure that it goes out in a nice natural state before you put product in it. So I'm starting with like a nice clipper comb, and I'm just going to overcomb the sort of the middle of the head, get a nice guideline to work from.
Jonah, Mr. Mike Lowry asked, how was your first flat top cutting experience? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, man. So I was probably a year into barbering, and I was working down the Gold Coast with one of my friends. His name's Rutona, and he had a lot of flat top regular clients. And one day he was out of the shop, and we weren't that busy, and this client came in and was like, "Can I get a flat top? I've never done a flat top in my life." And I just like looked at it, and I was like, "I'm sure I can do this." And I was just like, "Yeah, you can get a flat top. I've done heaps of flat tops." And yeah, I just went from there. But yeah, it was super nerve wracking.
I remember my first one too. Feels like 100 years ago now.
Yeah.
You find working from the back to the front is a little bit easier for you?
Yeah, that's just how I like to work. If I was doing a shorter flat top, I'd put a guard like all the way into the middle, into the here. But I'm trying to leave this one a little bit longer, get a nice shape out of it.
Damon asked, why did you switch to the Andis clipper and not the Ballast that you were using before?
I just think that I like using it just because it's a little bit lighter. Still got enough power to get through the flat top, but yeah, just a little bit lighter. So I put like a guideline in the middle, and I'm just gonna work it out to the sides, and then we'll do the front and clean it all up. Yeah, so basically I go into the middle, and I put in a nice guideline, and I try to get that all the way to about the highest point of the head, and then what I'll do is I'll move out and I'll do my left section and my right section from there. Again, man, this is just how I like to do flat tops. There's so many different ways of doing flat tops. I don't think that as long as your client's happy and your haircut looks nice, then that's the right way for you. So now I'm going to work my other section. I'm just walking around, seeing if there's anything that I want to touch up a little bit. And I usually leave these a little bit flared until like I finish the haircut. I'll probably call that like when I'm detailing and finishing, then I'll go through and I'll clip over comb those just to make sure that they're nice and symmetrical and square. All right, so now I'm going to be doing the front section. So for this, I've got a little bit of fiber gel. This one isn't open. So when you use products, you make sure you always open them. It's very important. I'd say that I'm using about a knuckle or a pea size. Again,
What
I've
you
seen
like about
people
the
use
fiber gel there, Jonah?
man, it just sticks nice, like sticks the hair nicely together. Also, it has a good hold, and it's so easy to use. If I had a flat top, this is definitely what I'd use. All right. So it's looking nice. Just gonna go through. So we're gonna take a little bit of length off and just work it all the way to the back. And I'll also go through and like clean it up with my blending shears and stuff like that at the end. Another cool trick that I learned at our Tommy Guns conference from another barber was he always like looks over the shoulder and just checks. And I like that. It's a good way of keeping it nice and flat. And now I'm just going to go over freehand with the clippers. Hey guys, this is Mandy. Mandy's just setting up the shop for us. Hi. For the day. She's got blue hair, I've got pink hair.
Yeah,
somebody
as soon
said
as
that we
we
look
finish,
like
you open up for the day, don't you, Jonah?
Yeah, man, we start at 9 o'clock.
Nice.
So I'm just going to go through with my blending shears now. I like to use these on a flat top just because there's any bits that are sort of not 100% square or flat, just nice and smooths that out. And I'm just using it on the very top. Again, I haven't touched the fenders really yet. Basically just touched under them where the baseline is. And if you have any apprentices or you're learning barbering, working with a baseline is awesome because you'll make sure that all your haircuts are nice and symmetrical and square. I always see people walking around with like rounded haircuts. I'm not too much of a fan of those. I like to make sure my haircuts look square because like square to me is masculine. How's that looking? Looking good?
Looking good, Jonah. Looking really good.
So I'm just cleaning my client. Also with the fade brushes and stuff like that, especially in this time, we're making sure to, disinfect our fade brushes and our neck brushes with the Andis Cool Care or Clipicide. All right. So basically, we've got the top nice and flat, as you can see. How's that looking, guys? Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to work my comb in there just to get rid of a little bit of that excess.
We have a question, Jonah, but it's in Spanish, I think, and I can't read it. So whoever this is up on the screen right now, if you can Google translate that and come back to me, I will definitely get your question answered. I think it says something about major control, but my Spanish really sucks.
Oh, I know I look Mexican, but I'm not Spanish. I'm Samoan. So I'm just clip over combing, making sure that it's nice and square at the sides. If you're in Australia and you want any information about REUZEL, contact Paul from Barbieri. He's your man. He's our distributor here in Australia. Yeah, so he sent me a nice package to help me clean the shop and keep it nice and symmetry for all the clients that are coming in.
And you there in Australia, y'all are not required to wear masks or social distance or anything like that, right?
So we basically it's social distancing between the clients that are here. So we got like 1.6 between every chair. And just making sure that, oh man, I think I went through it all at the start, but I think we might have been disconnected at that time. But basically, making sure that we're 1.6 between chairs, that we don't have too many people in the shop, making sure that everyone washes their hands between when they come in, and also one big one is disinfecting every client's hands, the chairs, and all our equipment.
Nice. Now, I did get a translation. What comb do you recommend to have better control in your flat top haircut?
I use just a normal clipper comb, but it's definitely up to you, man. I know some people that love the big Andis combs or the wild speed combs, but this is just what I'm used to, and this is what I like. I think it's up to personal preference. I think the most important thing for a flat top is making sure you have control of the hair. So, like using the Grooming Tonic and the fiber gel for me is what's the biggest thing for me.
I agree. I don't think I could do a flat top without fiber gel.
Because I think the good thing about fiber gel, it has enough movement, but also, you know, so when you're using the clipper, it comes off, but it also has enough hold that it holds it in place. So now I'm just going to go through with my blending, shears.
Jonah, you just working on the ends there just to kind of soften that edge?
Yeah, just softening that edge up, man.
I agree with Mr. Demo's comment here. Fiber gel is underglorified. It's amazing in so many ways.
Yeah, man. I really like it. If someone's coming in for a flat top, that's what they get in their hair.
Stick around, guys, because Demo will actually be joining us again next week, and we'll be talking about him in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining, Demo.
And hey, Demo, I learned a lot from Demo when I was over in Rotterdam. Demo was there with us at the Scumbassador retreat at the old school. So yeah, I really rate Demo. He's a great barber and a good bloke. So I'm very lightly just gonna touch this edge. I'm not gonna push it back or anything. I just want to make sure it's nice and clean. Not every haircut I would use. I'm not losing my words. I wouldn't edge up every haircut like this, but because it's a skin fade and a flat top, you know, I just want to make sure that it's super clean.
Demo says, thank you. Looking great, Jonah. And he says, misses everybody.
Yeah, we miss you too, brother.
Well, we'll have him on next Monday.
Nice. I can't wait to see what Demo teaches us next week. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just looking around, getting a little bit of perspective, seeing if there's anything that I want to touch up, just a bit of a detail and finish. So yeah, I think that's really important when cutting, man. Just taking a step back and just getting the full picture of what the haircut looks like. Because when you're just looking at a haircut like close on, you might miss little imperfections and stuff like that. And I've just got some 7 inches, and I'll just go over the top of those.
Damon, I'll put that up on screen for you right now. They're asking for your Instagram.
Yo. So my Instagram is tapered out.
I'll get that on screen in 1 sec.
Just going through and giving any detail. All right, how's that looking?
That's a mighty fine flat top there, Mr. Jonah.
Thank you, sir. I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit more fiber gel. Give me 1 second. I forgot to get something. Earphone. Yeah. I can't find it. So just to do the edges, I'm just using a little bit of beard foam.
And using the beard foam as like a shave cream?
Yeah, man. Because it's got so much moisture to it. Like, I think that it's great for doing edge ups, lineups and stuff like that. I like it opposed to a shave cream just because you can really see what you're doing. But yeah, before I finish, I just want to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to share some knowledge with you guys. It's been an honor. Thanks to Paul from Barbieri, also the guys at Tommy Guns for employing me and letting me use the shop for this film. And Curtis, thanks for putting it all together, mate.
You're more than welcome, buddy. I really enjoyed doing these lives for everybody. We've been doing this for, I don't know, 6, 8, 9, 10 weeks now.
Yeah.
And we have a lot in store too. We still have a lot in store. We're still going to continue to do these every Monday. Today was a little bit different because Jonah is Monday for Jonah, and we had a little scheduling conflict, but it's all good. But we're going to continue to do lives every Monday, and I have some exciting things coming up for everybody, I hope. I look forward to everybody tuning in.
Perfect. And there we go. Another thing that's really good about the beard foam, it actually sort of soaks into the skin. There we go. How's that? Thanks so much for listening, guys, and yeah, hopefully I'll hear from you again. Is there
Awesome.
anything, any questions or anything, Curtis?
What? Let's see. Let's give people a chance to shoot some comments in there and some questions, and let's get a whole roundabout of that beautiful flat top there, my friend. Guys, if you've got any questions, we'll get Jonah to answer those for you. If you just shoot them there in the comments. As he hot towels and gets his
hot towel.
As he finishes up there with the hot towel, if you got any questions for Jonah, please put them in the comments.
It's just a Tommy gun service.
Jonah, I don't see any other questions, my friend.
Awesome.
Yeah, give us a nice little spin there, because that's one mighty fine flat top.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome, Jonah. Jonah, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day, my friend. You've still got a long day ahead of you. You got a full book today?
Yeah, man. We're fully booked today.
Awesome.
So we flat out.
Guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank Jonah. We thank Tommy Guns for letting him use the facility there. And guys, we want to talk about who's coming up next, which would be Mr. Demo Padula. Demo will be with us Monday, June 8th at our regularly scheduled time at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Guys, I want to thank you again for joining us for our special Sunday edition of REUZEL Facebook Live, and we will see you on Monday, June 8th.